Hi, I'm Mark from Intelligent Triathlon Training. Everyone knows what CSS is, or do they? Critical swim speed is the swimming equivalent of FTP. And yes, I know it's not quite the same, but what they're both trying to define is that intensity that you can maintain for tens of minutes before you have to slow down due to fatigue. Needless to say, going a little bit above this intensity can cause fatigue to set in quite quickly. CSS relates to a pace that you can sustain for 20 to 30 minutes. Why such a big variation? Well, it depends upon conditioning, endurance, and technical robustness. Swimmers who have a higher volume in their training or longer history in the sport are likely to have a better technical robustness and therefore maybe have a longer time that they can hold their CSS pace for. Our set today is a CSS development set. After the warm-up, the main set focuses on our pace, just a little bit quicker than CSS, interspersed with regular recovery breaks. We want the main set for each of our lanes to last for around 40 minutes, including the recoveries, so about 30 to 35 minutes of actual swimming, just that little bit faster than CSS. In the session, we're using a mixture of 150 metre reps, with the recovery dropping slightly as the sessions go on. You can see the sessions somewhere around here. The slower lanes have a smaller proportion of their swimming on the longer distance to allow them to focus on their technical robustness by using more emphasis on the shorter reps. Pacing is absolutely crucial in this type of set to get the most out of it. Swimming hard is just not good enough. Swimming effectively is the goal. The most common mistake on this type of set is to start out far too fast and then die a death at the end, with times significantly slower than those at the beginning of the set. A well-executed set should see you just about hold the same times for the reps at the end as those which you started at, despite the fact there is slightly less reps. You may even find you can increase the pace a little, but not a lot. Therefore, the pace stays the same, but due to the intensity, the perceived exertion will increase steadily throughout the session, so you should just about be able to complete it if you're holding the right pace. There's also a version of this set which uses 200 and 100 metre reps, which will reduce the amount of rest the swimmers get and work on endurance, physiological endurance and conditioning to a higher degree than this set does. In our slower lane, where they're targeting a pace around 2 minutes per 100, they will cover less distance during the set than the faster lanes. However, the physiology of the session is the same. They both get around 40 minutes worth of quality swimming. How often would I do this session? Well, this type of session, so there's a variety of different CSS sessions. A CSS set in one form or another is a staple pretty much throughout the course of the year, except maybe the end of season or the reintroduction to training. I tend to have shorter reps like this session, maybe even a whole set of 50s, where we're building form and technique as part of the program, and then as we get closer to the races, then we might use longer reps with less rest to begin to focus on the physical conditioning before we go to competition. Sometimes a swimmer may have 2 sessions a week of this type of training, but more usually I'll mix the sessions, so we're covering various intensities throughout the weeks with maybe a VO2 max set, an aerobic set, a technical set, and maybe a speed set. Most of our swimmers are performing between 2 and 5 sessions a week, so you can see there's no real generic answer to that specific question. For more information, check out our website, itt.world, and hit the like and follow buttons below. We're also IntelliTry on Instagram. See you next time.